Pascal. You are now rocking with that dude Pascal. We be going wild, Haitian in the building, so original. Got the haters catching feelings. Get your hands up to the ceiling and keep them held high. Cause St. Louis is ready. Forget about it, goodbye. Hold on, we just saying hi. Five somebody rise up weekdays. Catch us live, somebody. Let's go.
Good evening. Good afternoon and good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Pascal Show. Hope you guys are all doing well out there. Hope this show finds you in great spirits. All right. Allegedly, there is going to be a press conference of some sort happening here in just a short while. But there are a couple things that I wanted to play for you guys as we get some things, as we wait for this press conference to actually get started. There have been some updates that have happened, some press conferences that have happened over the past few hours. So I figured this would be the opportunity to kind of go through a couple of those while we wait. Now, allegedly, this press conference is supposed to be happening soon, in the next like 10 minutes or so. Don't know, but I mean, that's what they say. Press conference will be happening soon, but I don't know yet. I'm hoping that it is actually at 8 o'clock and they didn't move it or change the time. Okay. So if you guys are here for the information and, have been busy trying to enjoy your Sunday as best as you can, but keeping your ear to this as best as you can as well. And you're getting the update or getting some catch up from me, please do me a favor, hit that like button down below. All right, crush it. All right, hit that reaction button if you're watching on other platforms. That'd be greatly appreciated. Don't forget to hit that follow button if you're watching on all these other platforms. That'd be great. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button on my main channel. Go over to my secondary channel. That would be dope as hell as well. Go to my secondary channel because I just uploaded another video over there just recently covering some new details and new updates revolving around this case. All right. So please go check out the secondary channel, the Pascal Show clips. Go check it out. Crush that subscribe button there as well. Hit that join button down below. Become a member. Check out my Patreon, please, and thank you. And of course, check out my merch page, PascalMerch.com. We got some new stuff over there. Got to give you guys the updates because once we get into the news, we get into the news. Okay, guys? So please and thank you. All right. We got to get into this, guys. We got to get into this. Now, apparently, there will be a press conference here very, very shortly. But I did want to give you some updates revolving around what's been going on. There's been a lot of stuff that's been going on. People are still trying to find this man right here. Okay. His name, again, for those of y'all who might be late to the party, his name is Joseph A. Couch. He's 32 years old. All right. He just yesterday, okay, he opened fire on a highway, I-75 in Laurel County, Kentucky. Okay. A little bit close to London, Kentucky. Opened fire on this highway. Hit about 9 cars is what we're understanding now. Hit 9 cars and then just ran off into the woods. Just disappeared into the woods. Okay. Now there's been a lot of questions, a lot of speculations, a lot of theories, a lot of rumors that have been flying around, basically saying that he was the only one that did this, or that he was not the only one that did this, that he did not operate alone, when in fact they're saying that he did. That's some information that we're hearing. Okay. Now we're also hearing that law enforcement has obtained not only his vehicle, but they've also obtained the AR that he actually purchased that very day to exact this horrific thing that he did on the highway. So there is a lot of information that's still flying out the gate right now as we speak. We still got a lot of stuff. I still got a lot of questions about everything. If you saw on my most recent video that I put on the secondary channel, a lot of people got hit, and there's now new details that we're hearing as well. Not only just the one that I'm about to tell you, but other ailments that other people received, how injured they are. Some of them are very critical. One in particular, someone got hit in the head with a bullet. Now that's some serious stuff as well. They're saying, of course, that these people are critical, but they're hopefully going to make it through. But at the same time, it's still going to be touch and go. At least that's what we're understanding, and that's what we're getting. That's what the information that we're getting right now. Now, here's the thing. I got a press conference or another one from earlier today. There's two of them. I'm going to share this one with you. I'm still going to keep a lookout to see. Okay. I'm going to check out and see if there's any new updates. Okay. While we are watching this. Okay. And of course, I'm keeping an eye out for this press conference that apparently is going to be happening very, very soon. But again, a lot of people got hit. A lot of people are in bad shape. I just did a video where a victim spoke out talking about her experience. Please go to that secondary channel. Check that video out. You definitely don't want to miss that too. That woman and her friend are extremely lucky that they basically, man, by the grace of God or whatever powers that be, they got very, very lucky. Okay. And she explains and talks about that more in the video on my secondary channel. But let us get into this video here. All right. This is the one of the many press conferences or updates that they have had recently. I think this one is very interesting because they talk about the victims, what has happened to the victims, what the updates are about them. Also, things about what they have been doing, at least for the next a couple hours. Okay. Now, this is going to be interesting, like I said. And yes, Miss Andrist, exactly. 9 p.m. presser with all law enforcement agencies, all of them. So I'm curious, did they get the dude, or are they about to tell everybody we don't know where this guy is? That's the thing I'm wondering, because you either got him or you don't. You either got him or you don't. Okay. But like I said, in just a little bit, they're going to be doing this. So let me play this video. All right. Or let me play at least as much as I can before we get into this presser, because I'm still trying to find where the presser is actually going to drop off. Okay. Where it's going to pop off. So let's take a look at this. Okay. Appreciate you guys being here. Thank you so much for your energy, your positivity, your love, all that stuff, your opinions, etc. It's all welcome here. Just play kindly in the sandbox. Okay. All right. Adult out here, guys. All right. I appreciate it. All right. So let's get into this. I don't know, man. I mean, could he, if you got all agencies showing up and being a part of this conversation, something it's either very good news or not good news. Okay. Yes, Kara. No throwing sand, kids. Okay. Adult out here. All right. Let's get into this.
Thing that we've developed so far to a suspect in this case.
What specifically was involved in escalating that?
The recovery.
By the way, I'm so sorry. Real quick, he just said just a second ago, I kind of moved it up a little bit. He just said that he turned from being a person of interest, that Joseph Couch turned into he changed from being a person of interest to an actual suspect. But let's be real, okay? He been a suspect this entire doggone time, and at least in my personal opinion. I don't know about you, court of public opinion. We'll all sit here and say this mother lover was a suspect since the jump. Okay, but that's fine. They got to do their legal stuff and all that crap. You know what I mean? They got to make those moves very, very slowly, but we've already been there. Okay, this man be a suspect if you're running around like Rambo out here in these wilderness streets, like a hairless Sasquatch holding an AR. Come on now. You a suspect. All right. But let's get into this.
Recovery of the vehicle, the recovery of the weapon, and some information that I cannot disclose with you.
Where did that information come from?
Our investigation, and that's about the best I can do for you on that. I wish I could give you more, but we don't want to damage our case, so we're going to have to hold off on some informations.
Is there a note in the car?
No.
Gilbert, is the thought that he's still at the scene up there or in that area?
We're going on that premise, but that's why we got to say this. He might not be there, and what if he's not there? Then we got to get the word out that he.
You heard that right. You heard that right. You heard that right. We believe that he's there, but he may not be there, which is a huge problem. And if you have all agencies showing up for this meeting, like I said, it's either they got him or they don't. Okay. And they may be like, well, we may be barking up the wrong tree. So, fam, no need to panic, though. No need to panic, but we don't know where he is. They have to tell the people something here, guys, and they have to keep it real very, very soon. So, I'm keeping an eye out, y'all.
He could be somewhere else.
He could be somewhere else.
At this time, yes, we believe that he's still up in that area.
Believe.
Yes.
What is your biggest challenge your search teams are facing right now?
The area, it's so remote. If he planned this, it's so remote. That's probably one of the most remote exits along I-75. It's so wooded. There's one business. There's no residences. He couldn't have picked an area that is any more remote and difficult for us to try to locate him. And that's what we want to do. We want to safely. We don't want our guys to get hurt. We don't want any more of the public to be hurt. And we want to take him into custody safely. And it's a big task. They've just come out of the woods. They've been in the woods for several hours now. They have all this garb on that we wear, that our special response people wear. And it may be a little bit cool right here, right now, but it's not to them. They've come out to rest, and they're going to go right back in. We want to get him tonight. We want to get him before it gets dark again, but no promises. You know, we're going to do our very best.
Do you think that was part of his plan? One of the reasons.
It's definitely dark out right now. Okay. Just saying. But at the same time, guys, yeah, and Beth Hammer, you ain't wrong. Stopping for the night would be a very, very bad idea, because that obviously allows him more. It obviously gives them him a more chance to get more distance, right? Get further out there. Okay. And I'm gonna put up a poll here, okay, in a second. And if anybody knows where this press conference is, holla at your boy. Let me know, because I am actually trying to find it myself. But I don't see it anywhere so far.
Why he chose this area?
Probably it's very, very, very remote. The trees, you almost bump into a tree every 2 or 3 feet. It's just that way.
Found it.
And it's difficult, and it's tedious, because we have to look behind every tree, because what if he's there?
Okay. I'm going to have to pause this, guys. Sorry about that, but I got to pull this up for you guys. Okay. We got the video. The press conference is happening right now as we speak. So I'm going to roll it a little bit backwards, so that we can watch it from the beginning.
Done a wonderful job.
Oh my Lord. I'm
by now you've likely heard Donald Trump make this
public
confession on air.
What the hell? No, I did not. Stop. That's
Legal
not
team,
what I mean.
Commonwealth attorneys.
Let me get this back. Okay. Let's rock and roll. Here we go. Here we go.
Okay. I think I've seen enough of you folks since Saturday, and I just want to tell you how much that we appreciate what you're doing, getting the word out about this. We couldn't do it without you, and we do need to get the information out. So what we decided to do is have a joint press conference, and I appreciate y'all coming tonight, and bring all the stakeholders in and let each person and each agency tell you what we are doing to capture this suspect, so to get our community back.
They haven't got him.
Without any further adu,
crazy. He's still out there, y'all. He is still out there.
Okay, guys, I want to thank you for being here today. You guys have done a wonderful job. First and foremost, we want to our sympathy and then prayers to these victims. Please, everyone, if they will, remember these families. Remember all our law enforcement agencies. I'm going to try to give you a brief synopsis. I know you got a lot of questions on the containment, why we're doing this, what we're doing. We will open it up later after we have a couple more spokesmen, and hopefully we can answer your questions. We will stay on track with this is open investigation, so there may be some things that we can't answer. We will try our best to get you an answer, but we may not be able to answer it at this time. We'll stay strictly with what we got. We're not going to try to deal, with the what ifs and could it be's, and we're going to try to give you actual factual what we're doing. Once again, I appreciate each and every one of y'all for being here and putting the interest in getting this out to our public. It's very tragic. This is something that, you don't foresee, but it has happened. And I can kind of tell you the way that we're handling the situation. As you can see, we have many partners here in law enforcement, the Kentucky State Police, who have just done a wonderful job with us. They provided manpower, resources, whatever, doing a great job with us. We have our partners here, county attorneys, legal team, Commonwealth attorneys, and along with the London City Police Agency, represented by the mayor, chief, and assistant chief, FBI, and ATF. So with this group here, surely we can get you some answers. Yesterday, as you all are aware, I'm sure you went through, we did have a shooter at the exit 49. There have been 5 victims. That's confirmed. I think they're all going to be okay. It's nothing. I don't think we're going to have no fatalities. Just keep, like I say, when I open, keep all them in your prayers. I don't think there'll be no fatalities. But we have got, there was a shooter. It appears that he was using an AR-15 as the primary weapon. We have located evidence at the scene. We know where the shots was fired from, his location, some cartridges, a gun, and a vehicle. Everyone that we have names that we've come in contact with has been interviewed, and we have just everyone together with the joint effort has done just an outstanding job with this, and I'm so very proud of all of them. Also want to give a special recognition to some people that are law enforcement. They wear down, but we have more coming in, and the dispatchers at Laurel Dispatch has just been phenomenal. They took the initial call. They have stood with us. They've took all the calls. Of course, we got a lot of calls that we see this guy here. We see him here. We have checked all those calls. We do not know that he has left that area. That's why we're concentrating on this exit 49. We've had calls on all parts of the county. We've had calls out of the county. Those have been followed up, and none of that is so. So what I'm going to do at this time, I know the big question is what are we doing and the containment. Why are we at exit 49? I have my lead investigator, Detective Richard, or Commander Richard Dalrymple. He's the lead investigator on this, and also he's the commander of SRT team. And at this time, I'll let him come up and kind of explain what we're doing and the containment. Hopefully that will answer some questions. And then after he speaks, we'll open it up. And if you guys have questions, we'll try to get you answers.
I don't think anybody's interested in the Oscar speech. You know what I mean? Like, thank you so much,
I'm gonna
everybody.
address what we did up to tonight.
Okay.
And then I'll tell you the steps that we have taken this evening. Yesterday, when the shooting occurred about 5:30. By the time we pinned down the vehicle and formed a pretty good theory of what happened, it was close to dark. That terrain at exit 49, where we believe the shots had come from, very unforgiving terrain, not a safe place to put people in the dark searching for a needle in a haystack. So we formed a perimeter last night at exit 49. We had a counter sniper team there all night long. We did not continue actively searching. We just contained it last night. We waited for daylight in order to approach it again and see if we could locate the actual crime scene. We went back this morning. We took a tactical team up on the mountain, and we located 3 different sites where there was evidence. As the sheriff said, we located where we are now certain that the shots were fired from. We have searched that area all day long. And at sometime this afternoon, I don't know exactly what time we did it, we have asked the KSP to step in and take over the manhunt and run the manhunt for us, because we have exhausted the personnel we had available to do it. We will continue the criminal investigation throughout in conjunction with the FBI, ATF, the city, everyone here. But we at this point have turned the Manhunt over to the Kentucky State Police, and we will be assisting them moving forward in that regard.
They have moved it over
That's
to
it,
another
as far as the
agency now.
containment is concerned.
Interesting. They haven't found Bupkis.
And I would like to say, to the residents, I think the question is, you guys quit at night. What's to say, this guy's not moving on the ground at night? Well, he may be. Last night, we're not going to send deputies, troopers, FBI agents, or whatever in walking through the woods because we do know this guy is armed, supposedly armed. And that's why, he could be sitting and, we're not going to be sitting ducks in the woods. But we did have snipers that was on point that stayed at scene all night last night looking at the ridge where the shots was fired from. And I can guarantee you one thing, we're doing aggressive patrols. I spoke with the KSP public affairs officer, Scottie, over here, and he says, they have like 20 units that's going to be in the area on patrol tonight. The sheriff's office has patrol units. The city has patrol units. We've had numerous outside agencies that's come in to tell us. So when we say, these efforts cease at night, it's just for the safety of those that's searching, but still yet we have patrol efforts going. So at this time, I will open it up and we will do our best to try to answer your questions.
Sheriff,
ask questions.
What is your message?
Well, my message would be, that we would ask that he would give himself up. And we're not going to quit until we do lay hands on him, You
don't know where he is.
We really hoping, maybe we wish that would have been last night. We was hoping today. We hope tonight. We hope tomorrow. But this effort is not going to stop. We've already got all the arrest warrants. The Commonwealth Attorney here has prepared that, looked over that. Everything's in place. So if we do lay hands on him, that we will take him into custody. So if he's watching, it would be his best interest to surrender and turn himself in. Hopefully, no more harm to no one else, or to the residents, or to our officers.
Sheriff, you seem to believe pretty fervently that he is still armed. I'm curious, was there any evidence that you found, a second caliber
No kidding.
round or something like that would indicate that this individual is carrying
No, we're going on what we've been told. And like I say, it is open investigation. I really can't elaborate on that, but we have been told that. As far as knowing, we've not laid hands on him. We've not recovered no other weapons. That's just what we've been told that we're passing on to you.
So he may be.
We've been told by some outside sources that he could be armed, but we're not revealing that. We don't know. We cannot verify that. Like I said, we've not laid eyes on him.
He may still be armed, everybody.
Him. We don't know, but we have been told. And that's the way we're going to treat
crazy.
it,
But these are sources, I'm sorry. No, but these are sources.
That's crazy.
When you say outside sources outside of law enforcement?
Yes.
Do we know how he obtained the AR-15
Wow.
that he used, and how many other weapons he owned?
He obtained a firearm at a local place here in London, but it was obtained, legally. He went through the ATF. He went through all the proper paperwork, and we have the paperwork. We have that paperwork, copies of the receipts. But that was obtained, if you're not a felon or something, if you can go in, you can fill the paperwork. Anyone can purchase the guns.
Ain't that a problem?
That was yesterday.
Okay.
Around what time this evening did the active search conclude?
I think it was after dark, right at the edge of dark. But when you say conclude, it's like last night. At dark, we did conclude, but KSP had choppers up with FLIRs. We had drones with FLIRs. But it was right at dark today.
How big is the search area, and how much has been searched?
Insane.
I have somebody else will probably have to answer that. It's huge. And that area, I know you guys have heard all day that it's just really, really rough terrain. A lot of cliffs, mountains. It's really rough terrain. But I don't know. Has anybody got a better? There's thousands of acres. I mean, I can't tell you exactly how many. There's just thousands of acres. Yeah. It's a big area. Very secluded.
He's still out there, guys. He's still out there. They just don't know
A
where
lot of
he is.
national forest land.
It's a lot of stuff. Like it's a lot of terrain, a lot of land. I
would
get
say
that.
150 plus. You know, I mean, I don't know if you can say actively
School's canceled
searching.
for
We have a lot
tomorrow?
of supervisors.
Interesting.
You know, that's there. But going probably the ground crews, I'd say it'd be safe to say Captain 40 to 50, maybe on searches. You know, just a rough estimate. I can't give you an exact number, but a large group.
What time will searches start tomorrow?
Probably.
What?
We're going to be meeting in the morning at 0800, and searches
Hold on.
will start shortly after that.
Are they really taking a break for the night? What?
I'll have to let somebody else speak on that.
That better not be true. They're taking a break for the night?
He's originally from the Knox-Whitley County area, and he does have a military background. He served in the National Guard for at least 4 years, and he was a member of the Engineer Battalion.
You guys mentioned that this area is large.
Yeah, I didn't understand that. Can someone explain what he just said?
I'll explain why last night was. So if you are getting off at exit 49, if you're coming southbound on the interstate and you look to your right, there's a cliff there. Okay. And that cliff has a ledge on the top, and it has a ledge about 30 feet down. He was on a ledge about 30 feet down from the top of that cliff where he fired from. And that's characteristic of that entire area back there. So in order for me to find that this morning, when we located that site, I had to grab a tree and lean over and look. So that's impossible to do in the nighttime without falling off a cliff.
So aside from exit 45, are you guys canvassing any other areas?
Wow. They took a break last night. They only work from
Master Trooper
7
Scottie
to
Pennington,
6
Interstate
p.m.
Police. I'm the public affairs officer here at the London Post. First, I want to thank
Insane.
everybody up here. The sheriff's department, city police, ATF, they have worked tremendously hard at this effort. And this is why they've asked us to come in and help with the manhunt. There's no way that they can continue to do this and do it safely. So we've got 16 posts around the state police, and we've requested troopers from several different posts to come in and help with this manhunt. Around 1,600 hours tonight, sheriff's requested the Kentucky State Police to come in and help with the manhunt. We activated around 20 to 25 troopers from other posts and our post. And about an hour after that, we went in and searched a very, when you say large area, for walking in a jungle, because that's what you're basically in, it's a large area. I mean, you actually need machetes and everything to get through these thickets of woods. And, you know, you can't do it very fast because you don't want to leave no rock unturned, and you don't know if he's in that area. So you got to be very slow paced at what you do. So that's why we brought in all the extra resources. We will continue to stay in the area. Us, the Sheriff's Department, Rockcastle County Sheriff's Department, will be in this area, making sure the citizens in that community, they feel some kind of sense of security and safety. Just give us time, and hopefully we can resolve this in a timely manner, in a very quick manner. I'm open for any other questions. I hope I answered your question.
How concerned should residents be that there's
This is terrible.
most likely armed?
Well, I mean, you need to lock your doors. You need to, if you have security cameras, make sure you're constantly watching them. Maybe keep your porch lights on. Have communication, have your cell phone, and make sure your phones are charged up, because you never know when you might have to contact somebody or law enforcement. And we want those tips. Like the sheriff said, we want you to call us. Don't care if it's a county over, if it's a Dollar General store, you see somebody walking up down interstate. We want you to call us, and we're going to answer those calls. No matter if it's a small road, it's a gravel road, it's a creek bed, it's the interstate. We're going to have officers and troopers and deputies in this area until morning breaks.
Do we have any idea how familiar he is with the area?
At this time, I don't know that information. There's a lot of smarter people than me behind and behind the scenes working on things to try to find those answers. If maybe he's been in that area before, and that's technology that I don't know how to use, but we have resources that are trying to help us with that.
know what his motive is yet?
I don't know what his motive is yet. That part is still under investigation by the sheriff's department.
To be clear, however, this was at random. He was up there shooting at people at random.
I don't know why anybody would go up there and start shooting at people. I can't get in somebody's brain of why they do something this crazy. But it's an act of violence, and innocent people have got hurt and property damage as well. And for the people of Laurel County and Rockcastle County, I know they're at fear, and hopefully, we're going to put it to ease soon.
Sir, there's an array of agencies represented on this platform here. I'm curious, was he on anyone's radar prior to this incident?
Not that I'm aware of, but the sheriff might be able to answer that better than I can. But no.
No, sir. No.
Have you spoken to his family, and if you have, what can you share about that?
I've not directly spoken to it. That is part of the investigation that at this time we can't discuss, but that we have interviewed family members. The sheriff's department has, and they're doing a great job with it.
Hi, Chihuahua, guys.
Are you concerned that you don't have enough manpower to find this guy?
That's not my concern. I think we will have plenty of manpower, and the state police work in conjunction with the sheriff's department. They're getting a break. They need a break. When you're out there and you're away from your families, it's hot, it's cold. You got a lot of emotions going. You're away from your own loved ones. So sometimes you just need to step back, go catch a couple hours sleep, eat, and then get back in the fight. And we're going to take over and help them with that as long as they want us to.
Changing your strategy at all tomorrow?
Well, we have people that are a lot smarter than me that do this stuff pretty regularly. And, we will continue to use helicopters and drones, K9s, search teams. We'll bring in fresh troopers, fresh officers from other agencies, and we'll work together to there's a lot of land out there. He explained it earlier like a jungle, but it's also ATV trails. There's trails everywhere back in there where side-by-sides and four-wheelers and trucks go and drive.
They could take shifts. They got to take breaks, all of them together, simultaneously.
I don't have the exact time. We have it. I don't have it with me.
This is
sometime
wild.
Yesterday morning.
So it was in the morning and then the afternoon.
That's my
It's-
understanding. Yes, sir.
Literally, it's Rambo.
Was it just the weapon, or was it ammo as well?
It's the weapon and about 1,000 rounds of ammunition, most of which we have recovered.
You guys mentioned that you guys need a break from searching. How do you think he maybe survived out there?
We're still trying to ascertain how much preparation he put into this. We searched his house this evening. We have a lot of stuff from that, a lot of devices that we're going to download, that we're going to crack. We're going to get more information. But we can't rule out the fact that he could have committed suicide back there, and we have not found him yet.
Going back to his military experience, is there like an honorable discharge? Anything you can share about that?
I don't have that information.
The longer he's out there, are you worried about more lasting impacts, like schools are already canceling tomorrow? As more time goes on, he's not found. What could that look like for schools not having class the rest of the week?
I think at some point we're going to do everything we can do to catch this guy or find him.
Knocking futz, y'all.
The longer we continue and the more area we clear and the more places we are sure he is not, the safer people are going to feel. And I'm confident eventually we'll figure it out and we'll find him. But at this point, we're doing everything we can to find him at this point.
You guys mentioned that he may not have been on anyone's radar. Can you just give us some insight? I think he did have some sort of, even if it's a small criminal record, can you share what his record with law enforcement looks like?
It's minimal, my understanding right there.
Yeah, I ran a statewide criminal history on the day when it's very minimal. I think there was a dismissal or two, a traffic ticket. I think a domestic violence within the last 6 months. Is that about right?
Ooh, a DV.
So I think there was a divorce action that was at some point also. There was nothing in his criminal history that made me think, oh, we should have known this was coming. It's just not there. Very minimal.
What about that police record?
If I'm not mistaken, I saw, so it's kind of listed as a D case. If you're looking through court records, there was a D case. It could have been a divorce. And for some reason, I wanted to think I saw some type of an emergency protective order at some point in time.
Interesting. This is very interesting.
One thing that we would like to reiterate to the public in London and Laurel County, as the sheriff has said, is there's multiple agencies on the streets. Not only the London City Police, the Laurel Sheriff's Department. You may see the city police in the county. You may see the county in the city, the state troopers throughout the community. And plus we have other agencies from like Williamsburg, Jackson County that are assisting and helping patrol throughout the normal patrols in the county and in the city. So while we ask people to be vigilant throughout their homes or about their travels, just rest assured too, you have a lot of emergency services that are on the streets tonight, and then we'll be continuing tomorrow as well. As far as the schools, we have been in talks with the superintendents in this area. We will continue to update the school systems as we get it from the Laurel County Sheriff's Office. And of course, their priority is to keep our children safe. So it's going to be according to how the investigation goes leading in tonight and in tomorrow.
Any other questions?
You know about how many rounds were shot?
We know we have 12 vehicles hit and multiple rounds in most of those vehicles. And I know
wow.
from the brass that I saw this morning, 20 to 30 is my best guess. But I didn't
20 to
count
30
them.
rounds
So
were fired
that's
from
about
that
as good as I can
rifle.
do.
And he's saying 12 cars were hit, not 9 now. Now they're saying 12.
So
Wow.
what you got to understand is we have the vehicles, the people that were shot were traveling in. There was also vehicles hit that were not, no one was injured in. And some of those vehicles got all the way home before they realized they had a bullet hole in them. So that number has climbed over the last 24 hours, and we're at about 12 right now.
So 12 vehicles hit by bullets.
Correct.
And I also just want to confirm that the number of victims, there was 5 victims with a gunshot, and then 2 with the car collision. They were injured because of maybe a car wreck, with total 7. Or is that incorrect?
I know of 5 victims. I know nothing about a car wreck that was unrelated to the shooting.
You guys have anything?
Okay. I think this is the last person speaking.
My name is Michael Stansbury. I'm the special agent in charge for the FBI's Louisville field office. I just wanted to come up here and say for a minute that we certainly know that the impact this is having on the community here in Laurel County, that people are afraid right now. They certainly have a right to be. This thing doesn't happen every day. And, you know, when someone's driving down the freeway and then random shots start coming in, it is terrifying. But law enforcement, the FBI, the ATF, and everyone up here is doing everything they can to, one, solve this investigation, to make the case to prove that this individual is the one who, in fact, did this crime, but also to make sure that we apprehend him and get him into custody. And whether that is tomorrow or tonight, tomorrow, or next week, we're not going to stop on this case until we do find him and we take him into custody. I will say that on the FBI's part, what we are here for is to, 1, assist the Laurel County Sheriff's Department with the investigation, and 2, also assist the Kentucky State Police with the apprehension. We have essentially 4 types of elements out right now. First and foremost, we have investigators. We do have an office here in London with investigators. Them, and along with our agents from the Lexington office, have been down here and are working side by side with the Laurel County Sheriff's investigators, conducting interviews, collecting evidence, and trying to work as diligently as they can to solve this case. We also have our evidence recovery team has been helping the Sheriff's Department at the crime scenes recover the evidence, package it, process it, and assisting with the search warrants to make sure we can analyze that and get them everything they need to prosecute this case. And then next, we
Wow.
have a tactical component.
He
Our
gone.
special weapons and tactics team is out actually working with KSP to try and find this individual. This does take specialized training, special agents, and law enforcement officers with the skills and the equipment to traverse this. We just can't put any agent out there walking through the woods and safely trying to
Yeah, Kim,
apprehend
he gone.
this individual. So we're working hard with that. And then finally, our victim services division is working with the victims that are in the hospitals around the area, working with them and their families, trying to do everything we can to support them. So we will be here until this case is, until, this individual is in custody or he's found. So with that, are there any questions y'all would have for me?
You listed him as a person of interest for quite some time today, but I'm curious, what was the linchpin that kind of tipped this over to officially put him as a suspect?
I think the evidence that we recovered at the scene pretty much locks that down. I don't want to go into, as the sheriff said, of all the evidence that we've collected, because there is a case that if we do catch this individual, the Commonwealth attorney is going to have to prosecute him. So we don't want to obviously try this case in the media, but we do have solid evidence. As the sheriff said, his vehicle was at the scene. A firearm that he purchased yesterday was at the scene. I am confident that his fingerprints will be found on that firearm. His DNA will be found on that firearm. And there is other evidence from, as the sheriff said, witnesses we've talked to about statements he's made and things he said. So we've got the evidence we believe to put forth that he did this. So we're pretty confident we have the right individual.
Can you elaborate what you mean statements that
To other people, things he has said to other people. That
about wanting to do something?
all I will say, I don't want to go into the detail of exactly what he said. All I will say is statements he's made, interviews people about his state of mind and what he wanted to do. We have interviewed people. We feel pretty confident that this is the individual.
Man.
I feel like you're dealing with somebody who is well equipped to stay out in the woods for a while. Is there any indication that he's an avid camper or maybe always running?
I don't know that, I know the information that we have. I don't know that I would want to just give that all out here right now because one is, I think you said earlier, he could be watching this right now, and we certainly don't want to tip our hand on everything that we're doing and everything that we know about him.
Do you think that he has communication device?
It's possible, but I do not know at this time if he has one with him or not. All right, I'll turn it back over to you, Sheriff. Thank you.
Is that it? Or is there more?
Major, got anything you want to elaborate on?
Have mercy. Okay, that's
I'm
more.
Major Eric Walker, Kentucky State Police. I just wanted to reassure everyone that Kentucky State Police, at the request of Sheriff Root, has undertaken the steps to move forward with the manhunt portion of this in conjunction with other tactical resources that we have available through the state and our federal partners. We have a plan in place that we'll execute tomorrow, not to rehash. The citizens of the Commonwealth here in this locale can be assured that state police resources have been brought to bear. There will be routine patrols in the area, and we have ensured that we've got troops from other post areas brought into the area. So there's adequate manpower to ensure safety in the community. Any questions? Thank you.
Hopefully this is it.
Let me clear something up. I misspoke earlier, and I want to make sure you guys have the accurate information. It was a condition of his bond not to have contact with the victim on a terroristic threatening charge. That terroristic threatening charge was dismissed. It was not a domestic violence order. So I misspoke on that. As soon as I stepped back, I thought, I think I missed that. So I want to clear that up. There's no domestic violence order in his past that we can see in Kentucky. There was a terroristic threatening charge that was dismissed in Knox County.
Could you give us your name, please?
Say it again.
Your name, please.
My name is Jackie Steele. I'm the Commonwealth Attorney for Laurel and Knox County, 27th Judicial Circuit.
What you learned about the threatening charge through his divorce proceedings?
No, take that part. I know there's issues that they're talking to some people. I don't think they were married. That's when I stepped back. I wanted to check again. So I'm not going to speak as to exactly the terroristic threatening charge underlying. I don't know the facts to that. So I'm not going to speak to the facts to it. I do know there was a condition of his bond not to be in contact with the victim. And that's where I misunderstood it and misspoke. Any other questions, guys, for me? That would have been in Knox, Kansas this year. If you give me 1 second, I think it was
326, 24.
326. Thank you. Jody Albright, the county attorney here, Laurel County.
Yeah, I'm Jody Albright, the Laurel County attorney. I just want to say to the citizens of Laurel County and the surrounding areas, even this morning when we were at church, we saw a state trooper in our parking lot. There is a greatly increased law enforcement presence in Laurel County as we speak presently. I also have at the UK game, I was at the UK game last night or yesterday afternoon and didn't get to enjoy that game for a couple of reasons, but one was that my phone started blowing up. And it is amazing the outpouring of support from different counties, my fellow county attorneys, Commonwealth attorneys, elected officials. I've had contact from KCO officials who have offered support and wanted me to, when I had a chance, and I'll take that chance right now, to encourage our local law enforcement and to thank them for all that they do. So I want to thank each and every one of you officers and elected officials for all you do in keeping Laurel County safe. I understand that people are afraid. I get that. But there are no finer law enforcement officers and first responders than there are here in Laurel County. And we do need to be vigilant. You need to be constantly on the lookout and until this passes. But rest assured that everything that can be done is being done. Rest assured that once this individual is captured and taken into custody, that he will be prosecuted. And I have utmost faith in our Commonwealth Attorney, Jackie Steele, and our judicial system that he will be brought to justice and justice will be served. But please understand that what they're talking about, as a young man, as I was out in that area, Cromer Ridge area, it is a vast area. He could be there for a long time. If he's still alive, he could be there for a long time. We don't know. But I have utmost confidence that if he is in this area, he will be found and brought to justice. So, and I would also reiterate that if anybody has information, please bring that information forward now. No tip is too small, and please share that. You don't know, that tip may be the tip that solves the case or brings him to justice. So, any questions from, I guess, for myself or Jackie Steele on the legal aspect of this case?
Yeah, I don't know why it got all choppy,
good,
but
thanks.
We're gonna ride with it. He's like, nothing for me, I bet.
Okay,
Peace.
guys, in closing, I just want to reiterate to the residents of this county that you can see the guys that's representing each agency on this stage and myself that we're doing everything that we can do. And like I say, just be confident. And I want to thank the people for everything from a prayer to we've had lunches, we've had water, we've had phone calls, we've had tips, and that's exactly what we want you to continue to do. But we are out in full force, and I'm confident, as JL said, that this guy will be brought to justice and he will be located soon. And I thank you guys. Thank you.
Okay, and boom goes the dynamite. Okay, guys. Yeah, there's a little bit to dissect here. I mean, there's a lot of bit to dissect here. First off, from what I've gathered, they're not going into the night. They're stopping for the night. So when they say, and for everybody who's watching, elsewhere, who weren't able to hear what was being said in this conference, to me, this conference was kind of trash. I'm sorry, this was trash. You got all the agencies together, okay? And let me just say this, okay? Let me preface what I got to say with this first. I get it. We're all human. You can't just burn the candle at both ends of the stick, okay? I'm fully aware of that, these men and women need to go back and see their loved ones. They need to see their spouses, okay? They need to eat, they need to sleep, and all that stuff. But can't you do it in shifts? Can't you do it in shifts? Going into the night? doing shifts. Because here's the thing. If this guy really is exactly what I think he is somebody who is used to being outdoors, used to the wilderness and all that stuff. Don't worry, we're going to look at something here in a second. If he's used to it, like he's Bear Grylls out in this piece, the nighttime might be the right time for him to shuffle. Remember what happened with Danilo Cavalcante, right? He was all the way up in Pennsylvania, just combing through the suburban wilderness streets out here, right? 5-0 sitting there scratching their head. But what's interesting about that, the only difference between Kentucky and Pennsylvania is that Pennsylvania was doing work all through the night trying to find this guy. And this guy, Danilo Cavalcante, still was able to make some serious moves right under 5-0's radar. So imagine if he's got a little bit of time on his hands and 5-0 drones, etc., aren't flying around and looking for him and all that stuff. You don't have your dogs running around looking for him as well. What do you think he's going to do? He's going to kick rocks. He's going to try to get as much traction as he can. Now, I get it. You could put things in consideration that he might get tired. He might get really, really worn out. He can't just keep burning both ends of the candle himself all day, every day, with very little to no food or anything like that out there in that kind of terrain and out there in that wilderness. But here's the thing, though. If he's used to this kind of thing, if he finds peace and solace in that area, if he's one with nature, okay, the cops are going to have some really hard times coming up here in trying to catch this guy. I'm just saying, if this guy has the experience of what they're saying that he does have, this is going to be a long couple days, unless he screws up or he gets too tired and he falls asleep, passes out, something like that, right? And they're able to catch him right then and there. But remember, the difference between Pennsylvania's search for that monster as well and Kentucky is that Pennsylvania burned through the night. They had shifts. They had waves of men and women going in there day and night until they found their guy. You let him have the night, he's going to keep hustling. He's going to keep shuffling through the woods until he gets either on the other side or something like that. Okay? That's what I think. Now, I could be wrong, but if they sit back and they don't go through the night, this is going to be a very hard time. Period. Okay? It's going to be a bad time. Okay? Here's the other thing, too. I want to pull this up, okay? Because I received this. I put it up in the pop-up video a while back or in this other video, but I do want to share this with you guys no matter what, so you guys can see this on the main channel, on the main page here and all that stuff, okay? But please go check out my coverage of this whole thing. But like I said, this is very interesting stuff here that this guy says in a Facebook post that apparently knew him back in the day, and they used to do survival training back in the day. Him and Joseph Couch. So, just to reiterate, this is also I dive into this even more on my secondary channel. Please go check it out. But they said I haven't spoken to him in close to 10 years. We fell out a long time ago, got in some trouble when we was young. But what time I knew him, he seemed to be normal. We done hiking and survival training, going in the woods with nothing and staying days. Stuff we thought was cool, a fun, I think they're saying a fun thing to do, I guess. Hunting, fishing. I was 13 to 17 when I knew him. Like I was 13 to 17 when I knew him. I'm 26 now. So again, if this is true, because a lot of people be out here saying all kinds of crazy stuff because people are crazy and everyone wants a click and everybody wants wants those likes and wants that clout. okay? And there's a lot of pranksters out here. So take this with a grain of salt. But at the same time, this is what's being said here, that they did survival training, like a Bear Grylls type thing, thrown out there with barely nothing at all, living off the land, foraging and trying to figure it out there for days. They love that ish. They enjoyed that ish. So if he really is this kind of guy, the police have a handful on them. There's no way that this guy is going to be out there. Literally, if he was like some city slicker dude, all right, didn't like the wilderness, didn't like the woods and outdoors, or was not savvy with these outdoor streets, he'd be caught by now. He wouldn't be able to survive as long as he's done so far. He'd get tired. He'd be like, I'm done. And just be like, help, set me free. You see what I'm saying? So there's a lot of things you got to put into consideration here. If he's got survival training like this, man, they got a handful. Now, I understand that allegedly today they deployed dogs. They deployed drones with infrared technology to try to catch him. Okay, maybe get his heat signal and all that stuff, but they haven't been able to catch him at all. He could be hiding in caves because apparently there's a lot of caves in that area. There's a lot of terrain where there's where he can hide under, so on and so forth. And they still have not been able to catch this guy, right? But again, it's sloppy for them to sit there and take the night off. I get resources, I get budget cuts, I get all that stuff. I'm fully aware of that. But at the same time, though, that's weird, right? Now, again, they could be taking some things off. I don't know. But like I said, that's a very, very weird thing. Then also, they didn't bother to talk about the other terroristic threats in the third degree charge that he got. They didn't talk about that either. They talked about a divorce. They talked about a DV. They talked about some traffic violations, but they did not talk about that other thing that we all saw yesterday, unless somebody whipped this up real fast and made this up out of nowhere, which would be surprising. It wouldn't be surprising. Let me just say that. But let me show you guys this too. Okay. Just a quick reminder. Remember this? There's this, right? Then there's down here, right here, charges that happened. Okay. And people in the news is still reporting this. So it's weird that they go into this press conference. They talk about his divorce, or that's what he thought it was, a divorce. They talk about the DV. They talk about the traffic violations, but they forget the biggest thing in the room, that in February of this year, okay, that in February of this year, he got charged with terroristic threatening in the third degree. That is a pretty damn big deal. Now, it may have been thrown out. I don't know. But at the same time, this happened. Someone was able to type this up and look it up and find this ish. So why wouldn't they talk about that? Of course, we already know that this guy is armed and very dangerous, or was armed. See, that's the thing. They can't even answer that. We'll talk about that in a second too. But we already know that the man is dangerous. He just did some crazy stuff. Apparently, he pulled the trigger. They said 20 to 30 times. That they found 30 to 20 shell casings in the area in which he did this thing onto I-75. Now we also understand that 12 cars actually got hit by bullets. Not 9 anymore. Before it was like 5. Now it went into 9. Now we have 12 cars that actually got hit, y'all. That's crazy. Because some people drove home and then got out of their car and looked out and they said, "Oh damn, that wasn't a rock. Holy crap, that's a bullet hole." That's crazy too. and scary as well. But let's not forget this piece of information. Oh, thank you. But let's not forget that crazy and scary piece of information. Now, this is the other thing too. Zozo Bob just said, wait, $1,000 bond for this? It's in the third degree, so I don't know. Maybe it wasn't as intense. I don't know. But again, like I said, I guess we take this with a grain of salt. Okay? But reports have been out here talking about this piece of information. And this happened in February of 2024, earlier this year. I'm sorry. Okay. So he does pull the trigger allegedly 20 to 30 times. Then they apparently retrieved his AR-15. They retrieved his car and his weapon. But now police are saying they still believe that he may still be armed, that he may have a little firearm with him running out here in these streets like he's damn John Rambo. So, okay, now you have that to put in consideration. And instead of them being like, everyone should be worried here because he could be anywhere right now. They're like, now, there's nothing to worry about. Everything's fine. Okay, people of London, we all got to be okay. We're gonna be okay. Just keep your doors closed. Keep your head on swivel. Be vigilant because he's still out there. They don't know where he is. They don't know where he is. They don't know where he is. Wow. Okay. Wow. So, we don't know his motive. We don't know why he did what he did. But here's the really interesting part of this here, okay? Law enforcement says at first he was a person of interest, and then he became a suspect. And that happened like a few hours ago earlier today at one of their press conferences. I'm wondering why. Well, one, I already knew he was a suspect since the jump, but I'm wondering why they connected this man to this situation. What got them connected, right? And how did they suddenly go, well, he ain't a person of interest no more. He's a suspect. What happened? What happened since last night till about this afternoon that they suddenly said he's a suspect? Now, I'm not sitting here saying that he ain't. He is. But you got to understand, what was the information that they put out? What's the information or the evidence that they got that they automatically said, yep, this man is most definitely a suspect now? What is it? But they're not willing to give us anything with that. Now, I also want to say, remember, they were able to ping his phone. Okay? They were able to ping his phone last night. And we were doing that big deep dive. We're all trying to find out and understand what the hell's going on and all that stuff. Remember? So they can't ping his phone no more? Because let's be real. Think about it. If he was watching the press conference on that phone, wouldn't they be able to still ping that phone while the press conference was still going on? Something to think about. Something to think about. Something to think about. Because it would be really, I'd be like, yeah. Keep talking. Let him watch this press conference so we can ping him again, because that means his phone is on. And then we can zero in on where he is and pounce. Right? Yeah, he may have a second phone. I mean, he can have two phones. Okay? One for the plug and one for the load. He could. Okay? He could very well have two phones. But at the same time, I don't know. I don't think so. So this is very interesting, guys. All right? Let me grab this really quick. Alicia, welcome to the family. Thank you so much for becoming a member. And just like Alicia, Please hit that join button down below. Become a member of the family. That'd be greatly, greatly appreciated. Welcome to the family. Thank you so much for the support. So again, press conference. What say you? What are your thoughts on that? To me, it feels a bit like trash. Now, I understand, okay? You're not going to have everything in your arsenal to be able to handle something like this. But at the same time, shouldn't you have things like this in your arsenal, local PD and other agencies, so that if this does happen, you're prepared? Think about it for a second. And Metch, I don't hate cops. I don't hate cops at all. I just don't like the lack of common sense sometimes. And I don't like hearing when we should be getting the guy and they can't get the guy right now. So he could be anywhere right now doing God knows what. But as I was saying, think about this for a second. Why would they not have specialists for this kind of thing? If you're going to live in a desert type of area, okay, or a place where it's heavily wooded area, so on and so forth, why wouldn't you bring in somebody that is absolutely suited and booted and vetted for that job, right? And then also have that team go on shifts. Not, we got to take some time. We got to take the night off. You know, we got to go home, eat that sandwich, kick up our feet, drink that Busch Light, and then we'll be back up in you know, at the crack of dawn, right there in that terrain, looking for this monster. I'm telling you right now, that is the worst move I've ever heard. Okay? Period. All right? Period. But again, I know somebody just said, well, he could have a burner. Yeah, he could have a burner. I just don't see him. He doesn't seem like the type, but at the same time, maybe he is the type to have two phones. I don't know. But like I said, regardless, wouldn't they be able to ping that phone too? Period. So no matter what, if he had two phones, if he had a laptop, if he had a freaking iPad or a tablet on his person while also having the cell phone, why wouldn't they be able to take the time to ping the hell out of that ish too? I'm just saying, guys. It just doesn't make sense. Kelly, thank you so much for the support. I really do appreciate the super sticker. Thank you so much. Okay. But yeah, anyway, this is very interesting. There is some more things I do want to share with you guys here real quick. All right. Again, this man is still out on the lam. Okay. Man is still out on the lam. And again, if the information that was said last night still remains to be true about this man, he mentioned about hurting a lot of people, but he also said that he was going to hurt his family. I mean, wouldn't you want to be able to take this guy in as soon as possible so he doesn't walk his way to the family? I mean, it's something to think about. I'm just curious. Like I said, I don't know what's going on here and why it's going on like this, but it's crazy to me that they are. It's crazy to me that they're taking nights off. There should be shifts, in my personal opinion. This guy's going to keep moving. He's got a military background. All right. Allegedly, he likes the outdoors. He's very outdoorsy. So this is not a good thing, in my personal opinion. Let's take a look at this, guys. All right. Just a little update. Well, a little information from News Nation. All right. Let's take a look at this clip here, right here. Oh, snap. Sorry, guys. Sorry about that. Sorry. Let me repeat that. Lo siento, lo siento.
After a suspect shot at least 9 cars, seriously injuring 5 people, one shot in the face, another in the chest. And right now, federal agents and U.S. Marshals are on the ground searching for a person of interest in Laurel County. He fled into a remote and wooded area near London, Kentucky. And we just got the update in the last 25 minutes. He is still on the loose. Also, public schools are being canceled going into the week for safety. News Nation's Jorge Ventura has the details tonight. And Jorge, it looks like this man's car was found. What can you tell us?
Yeah, that's right, Natasha. We are learning that authorities in Kentucky were able to recover a Honda CR-V that is registered to the suspect. Authorities did discover a rifle case inside the car and an AR-15 near the vicinity of the vehicle on I-75. Authorities in Kentucky continue their manhunt for suspect Joseph A. Couch, who authorities believe was the shooter in a situation that shut down Interstate 75 in Laurel County. Officials say the shooting occurred around 5 p.m. local time on Saturday. The shooter, Couch, allegedly began firing at cars driving along the Interstate I-75 near Daniel Boone National Forest. 9 cars were hit with gunfire and 5 people were seriously injured, including one person who was shot in the face, another in the arm, and another in the chest.
Now, again, just so you know, this is a few hours old. Obviously, we now know that this is 12 cars, not 9. 12 cars got hit. Okay. Of course, they said that of course, cops were able to get his car. The AR that he used was left on the side of the road somewhere close to the vicinity of where they found his car. So, in other words, when he ran back into the wilderness, we were right. He didn't just run off into the wilderness. I guess he jumped back into his car, drove a little bit, and then ditched the car and ran back into the woods as well. At least that's what it seems like what's going on. Because you got to remember, there were accounts of somebody running around. There were calls allegedly through dispatch of a guy running around shooting a pew-pew out there. So again, that could be him, right? That's got to be him. Was he shooting off with the AR? Don't know. But that's very interesting, right? That AR is gone. So this is going to be interesting. Okay. S-Dub says they're going back out, just taking a break. If that's the case, then great. Okay. Then that's fantastic. All right. That'd be fantastic. Because I'm sitting here saying like, yo, you better be taking shifts because you taking the night off is just wrong, right? And that's kind of the vibe I was getting from that press conference. That's crazy, okay? But good, all right? Please, this guy is still, they believe he's still armed. He's just not running around with the AR, right? And that could be fairly cumbersome. So maybe he has a smaller, a smaller piece on his hip. You never know while he's running around. God only knows here. All right. But I am kind of curious, how would they know the possibility, right? Did something happen? Did they find out where he bought his AR and find out what was in that receipt? What else did he buy aside from 2,000 rounds of ammo, right? He could have bought he could have bought a handgun. That's a possibility here too, right? But let's continue on.
Thankfully, no one has died, but injuries are severe, according to authorities. In a press conference this afternoon, the sheriff's office says that they are hoping to make an arrest tonight before it gets dark. No motive has been determined as of now, but authorities believe there has only been one shooter, adding that the shooter did not spark from a road rage incident. The sheriff says it is a difficult search, but all attention is focused on the manhunt.
We want to get him tonight. We want to get him before it gets dark again, but no promises. It's very, very remote.
The darkness has come.
The trees, you almost bump into a tree every 2 or 3 feet. It's just that way, and it's difficult, and it's tedious because we have to look behind every tree because what if he's there?
That's
Our
wild.
main focus right now is get this guy under arrest.
Now, we are also learning that the family of the suspect is cooperating with authorities. They are located in a different county. And throughout the day, Natasha, authorities did emphasize the importance of making an arrest before it gets dark. They believe that suspect is hiding in a wooded rural area and do believe he is armed. That's why they emphasize that they want to make that arrest before it gets dark tonight.
Yeah, and it's already been an entire day as well, and a night of darkness in between. Jorge Ventura, we know you'll keep us posted.
Yeah, that's crazy, right? I mean, now we are in the nighttime, and God only knows what is going to happen here, right? What they're going to find. If they are going to be out there tonight, right? Maybe in a smaller group, maybe a smaller unit, that kind of thing. At least it's people out there trying to get the guy, right? But that's crazy to me that they would sit there and not see. The one thing that really frustrates me about these press conferences like these, it's very much for 10 minutes, it's a lot of the thank you very much, thank you such and such, thank you to the such and such, thank you to this agency, because they don't really have a whole lot to say, right? And then finally they'll go, okay, we'll open it to questions. And then, of course, that's when we get the information that we need. They didn't really give us much information before the questions were answered or were asked, right? Pretty crazy, right? It's frustrating because they don't have anything. And that's not a dig at anybody. It's just the truth. They don't have anything. But they brought all agencies together to give us information or to just give us the Oscar-winning speech. I want to thank the Academy. I want to thank all the team that got me together to do this amazing performance. That's kind of the thing it felt like. You know what I'm saying? Just a little bit. And now we got a guy, the American version of Danilo Cavalcante, running out here in these wilderness streets, nowhere to be found. Is he going to be found tomorrow? Tonight? I don't know. But all I know is that they still haven't found him. Now, there is, I was going to say, Lil Patty, I was just about to say this, Lil Patty, you read my mind. There are still possibilities, right? That he's kicked rocks. He's in a cave for sure. Yes, and I agree. He may have done something unthinkable to himself. That's a possibility. But the fact that they still haven't found him, because if he had done something unthinkable to himself, turned the weapon onto himself, that kind of thing, he ain't moving no more. He stopped. Dead in his tracks. Pun intended. So it wouldn't be, of course you still got to find him. But at the same time, he's not running anywhere. So you'd think that they'd be able to find him sooner rather than later. The other thing is too, it would be fair and safe to say he is either, if they continue for the next couple of days, let's just say they go for the next couple of days. It'll be fair to say he either kicked rocks or he left this town or he left this physical realm, if you get what I'm saying. Those are the only other two possibilities. He ran up. He's on his way to Mexico, or he's on his way to the pearly gates. It's either one. If they sit there and go scratching their heads, still going, we still can't find the man. We just don't know where he is, but we'd like to thank FBI and local PD and the CIA and the CPS and the ADD and the ATMs and the AT&Ts. You know what I'm saying? So we'll see what actually happens here. But this is crazy. This is crazy. You'd think it'd be very easy to catch anyone nowadays with technology and everything. You know what I mean? Imagine him out there just like, hey, what's up, everybody? Here I am out in the woods, Hashtag very mindful, very demure out here in these woods. You know what I mean? Don't forget to hit that like. Follow for more footage. You know what I'm saying? I feel like we're so connected in so many ways. It should be fairly easy to catch a guy. You'd think, right? But unfortunately, it's not like that. This is insane. It's absolutely insane. And he's nowhere to be found. Hamburger. Let me see here, guys. Let me see if there's anything else. Some more information. Crazy, man. Dude's still out there. Dude is still out there. I'm just going to see if there's any updates, because remember, they did say in the press conference, okay? Very mindful, Alicia, okay? He's very mindful. But here it is. They did say in the press conference that there was nothing in his records that would spark any red flags. We just saw something about terroristic threatening in the third degree. Now, hold on. Let's just look this up. Maybe they can explain that a little bit. Maybe it isn't as. Maybe it's not as bad. Okay, let's take a look. Let us see this. And let's take a look at this as a fam. All right? Because this is weird. And of course, I'd rather understand it. All right? So, third-degree terroristic threatening is a crime that occurs when someone knowingly communicates a threat that could cause danger to life or a false report of danger to life. Okay. That's interesting, don't you think? But that's not a red flag. That's not a red flag at all, right? Okay. It can also include causing a false belief that an incident has occurred or that a dangerous condition exists. The crime is committed with criminal negligence regarding the risk of causing the evacuation, quarantine, or closure of a building, place of assembly, or transportation facility. The exact definition of terroristic threatening varies by state. For example, in New Jersey, the state must prove that the defendant made a threat. The threat was made with the intent to terrorize the victim, and the threat involved the imminent commission of a violent offense. Now, you're telling me that third-degree terroristic threatening is not a red flag? He's threatening to do danger to life. Okay. Doing a threat that could cause a danger to life. So again, explain that to me. That's a little bit weird, right? Don't you think? But that's not a red flag to whoever that was. I forgot the guy. He was really tall, right? But he's sitting there going, "Oh, I didn't see anything that big. Just DV, just divorce papers, some traffic violations, but let's not forget this third degree terroristic threatening." I think that's important. I think that's really important. Hold on. It was dismissed, but it still was part of it, right? That's still something on TikTok. I think that's part of it, right? And Lucky Charm, thank you so much for the support. I appreciate it on TikTok. Thank you so very much. Even though it was dismissed, it still exists. It's still there. People were able to pull that up. So that still matters. And that should still be a concern. Exactly. Alicia, Lynette, lots of charges get dismissed for sure. So like I said, looking at that, I think that's a little bit weird. Okay. Even though it was dismissed, it still exists. And as you can see, this guy is definitely going through some serious problems, right? Sounds like he's got some anger issues and some mental health issues. You combine those two things together, yeah, you're going to see some things. Didn't they say something about a DUI? At least that's what we have heard about that. Okay. So again, no matter what, those things are very important. He threatened somebody's life. He threatened to cause danger to somebody's life. That's a big deal in my personal opinion. So I see that as red flags, right? Now, whether he's allowed to obtain a weapon or not, I leave that up to the government. I leave that up to the government and red tape. I leave that up to them. But at the same time, when we're starting to understand this person and who this person is, I look at that and I see that as a big. I see that as a big problem because he actually did do something, guys. Let's not forget he went over to a ledge, a cliff area, sat down or stood there and took aim at 12 different cars, lit up a highway, causing a lot of trauma for a lot of people. And then he slung that freaking AR on his back and he ran. Okay? And ran. So I would look at that and go, yeah, that's a red flag. Yeah, that's definitely a red flag. Whether it was, like, as I just saw Alicia say, whether it was, if it was pleaded down or dismissed, it doesn't matter. That's something big, right? And yes, it could have been a disgruntled ex saying that he was threatening her. That's a possibility. But what if it was true, right? What if it was true? Like I said, this guy does not seem like he's doesn't seem like he's handling whatever's going on in his life in the most healthiest way possible. I think we can all agree on that because now he's in the woods doing his own version of John Rambo right now, First Blood. And it could be PTSD. That's a good question, Yakking Vet. I don't know if he ever deployed. I don't know anything about that. But at the same time, doesn't matter. This is somebody who's having some issues for sure. But we'll find out as time goes on, guys. Like, this is crazy. It's still developing. This whole thing's still developing. But we will be talking about it very much so, hopefully very, very soon, right? I'm hoping we'll find out some more information. I'm hoping that they're going out there. They're doing everything they can tonight to try to find out exactly where he is so that they catch this mother lover. Because if they don't, this guy gone. He's long gone. Where could he be? I don't know. But I don't think he's in the area that they're circulating around. But again, I could be wrong. Anyway, guys, that is the show. I appreciate all y'all for being here. It really means a lot, okay? We're still keeping an eye on this case. We're still keeping an eye on this situation. There's a lot still to dissect and consume and try to understand with this case. It is wild, but I will say this, guys, whoever's out there in that area, please be careful. The man is still on the loose. Again, he's still on the loose, and he could very well still be armed. Let me just say that one more again. He is out on the loose. He is out on the lam, and he could still very well be armed. Please be safe out there. Do not be a hero. If you see something, say something, okay? Call 911. Stay indoors. Keep your doors locked. Make sure your security system's on. Do not play. Okay? And all you kids out there, enjoy your day off at school, from school, but at the same time, stay indoors. Stay safe. Do not play. Anyway, guys, I appreciate all y'all. Again, if there's more information out here, we will talk about it. I'm waiting for things to start popping off when they get closer to them. When that actually happens, you'll get an alert. You'll get an alert letting you know that I'm live talking about it, okay? But we're waiting, patiently waiting, okay? Because I know this is not easy. So letting law enforcement do what they need to do. Hopefully, they'll find him tonight, okay? So hit that like button down below, please and thank you. Hit that reaction button if you're watching on TT or any of these other places. That'd be greatly appreciated. All right. Do not forget to hit that follow button. So follow me on the TikTok, please. Okay. Make sure you follow me on Facebook, X/Twitter, and Instagram. And Instagram. That's it. Follow me on all those, please. And thank you. Okay. Do not forget to hit that subscribe button here on my main channel. Go to my secondary channel. I urge you guys to go to my secondary channel. I got an update, a witness, a victim that drove through the firestorm of this situation, speaks on the whole situation. Go to my secondary channel, The Pascal Show Clips. Go check it out. Comment. Let me know your thoughts on it. Don't forget to subscribe there as well. That'd be amazing. Hit that join button down below. Become a member. Check out my Patreon, patreon.com/The Pascal Show. So show some love and check that out and become a patron. And also check out my merch page, Pascal Merch. Okay? PascalMerch.com. Okay? Check it out. We got some really, really great stuff over there. Okay, guys. But anyway, it is time to get going. Much love to you guys. Again, if you're in that area, please stay safe out there. Okay? Life is a lot better with you guys in it than not in it. Okay? So stay safe out there. Anyway, guys, it's time to get going. Be good to yourselves. Be good to one another. We'll talk soon. This is The Pascal Show. Bye.